EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Lone Star State and the very mammoth AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas. Three-quarters of the NFL season are complete. What lurks in our final month? We're underway in Week 14. And this opening dynamic kickoff not going to be returned. It'll come out to the 30-yard line. So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
12.
Quickly to the air is Burrow. He'll look underneath and finds Brown. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
Well, they use him a lot out of the backfield. He had 5 catches a week ago, and he makes another catch here for good yardage.
Here we go.
Now a 2nd and 2.
11.
And Chase will go in motion left. Burrow bats it forward. It's a jet sweep. Into space at the 45. Now he's loose down the left sideline. Jamar Chase. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. Jamar Chase. Touchdown number 18 on the year. And the Bengals go down the field in just 2 plays to take the early lead. Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. Now Lewis selects to return it. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. And they'll come out with a 3 tight end look on the first play of the drive.
Yeah! Here we go.
They'll begin on the ground here with Vaughn. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. And the tackle there by Jermaine Pratt. Well, this defense for the Bengals, they were excellent a week ago in the win over Pittsburgh.
And what I saw on film was a nearly unstoppable pass rush. 5 sacks last week, plenty of hurries given up. So now what do you do on offense? You just max protect, keep everyone in and run the ball? Or maybe just 1 or 2 receiver routes in order to try and keep your quarterback upright.
And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. 2 yards the loss, and now 3rd and 12.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
Here we go.
Prescott off play action. Rolling to his left. Oh, Prescott stripped. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35.
Much like a running back going through the line, quarterbacks have to be aware of protecting the football as well. He left it exposed that time, wound up having it knocked free, but fortunately, had an alert teammate who was able to get it.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Yeah! Here we go!
A run with Vaughn out of the gun. And he finds a little bit of room, enough for 4 yards. It'll be second down. The Cowboys at 5-7 now on the year, and they were winners their last time out, so they'll be looking to make it 2 in a row.
And so much about football, partner, comes down to mindset, being in the right frame of mind, and the best way to get in that good frame of mind, winning. So they come in feeling good. They've got the home crowd behind them, and I think they're going to be tough to beat in this one.
From the 41, here's 2nd and 6.
What do you think?
They'll try to throw now. Prescott. It's hauled in by Brandon Cooks. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
What do you think?
Up the middle, it's Vaughn. Now, they nearly sprung him that time as he takes this all the way down to the 37. 13 yards and a first down, Cowboys. You were telling me this yesterday. This is exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation? We were talking about what one of the GMs in the league has told me repeatedly. It's a big man's game, and it's not necessarily size. He's talking about playing some big boy football. Line up, get leverage, knock people back, and establish the run early.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Yeah, here we go. I think. What do you think?
Now Prescott. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. You talk about this Bengals defense. They're a tough unit to throw against, currently 4th toughest in the NFL.
And it's really difficult to prepare for this team. This is the #1 overall passing team in the NFL, but it shouldn't be hard to get excited about playing against them. The ultimate test going against that unit.
And that's why you and I are excited to broadcast this game.
Yes, sir.
What do you think?
Prescott from the gun. Cooks on the quick slant. And he will be marked down short of the first as they get to him at the 29. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards. And that's going to bring up a 4th down.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game. But it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go up and make the tackle right away.
Well, they'll say no to the 46-yard field goal try. They're going to go for it.
What do you think?
They throw it out right complete. And he's going to get the first down here as he's taken down at the 22. They're able to keep the drive alive, 7 yards that time, and the decision to go for it proves to be a good one.
Here we go. What do you think?
Now Prescott. Oh, it's intercepted. A drive killer there. Daxton Hill picks it off. And the Bengals are going to have the football here at their own 18-yard line. Well, when you start thinking of guys that are in the mix for Defensive Player of the Year, I think you use him as Exhibit A. Maybe he's not the leading guy right now, but he's at least on the periphery and deserves to be in the discussion.
And because of that, he's looking at a game today where in order to make that big move and maybe become the guy, he needs multiple takeaways, multiple big plays, things that get our attention and reverberate for weeks to come.
And they'll begin here with a run by Brown. And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
Burrow will throw. That's taken in by Higgins. Down he goes at the 23, a pickup of 4. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. Start of the second quarter, and it's the Bengals in control of the football as they've got it with a 3rd down coming up.
we go, here we go.
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down.
Shot.
From the gun on third down is Burrow. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
And that is how you respond after taking one on the chin to begin this game. Give up a first drive touchdown, go back out on defense, and completely shut them down to force a 3-and-out.
He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. This is brought in at the 21. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive.
Here we go.
Not an ideal way to end their previous drive. They threw the interception, Charles, after they had built up some momentum. They were moving the football, but something to at least build on for this offense as they run back out here.
Yeah, you're right about that. Up until that last play, everything was working pretty well for this offense, gaining chunks of yardage, getting first downs, really making a push for the end zone, and looked like they had a nice rhythm going. Now you got to have a short memory here. Don't focus on the interception. Focus on what came before it and get back to it.
To throw is Prescott. And this, incomplete. He tried to check it down to his running back and nearly had the ball picked.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. He'll find Lamb. That's complete. And I don't think he got there. No. Geez, short by maybe a foot. Maybe. Call it 4th and inches.
Well, it wasn't a big strike, but that completion put them in really great range. What do we have now, 4th and inches?
Yeah, it's not more than a half.
You know what I would do here?
You would always go for it.
I'm one of those guys.
And in their own territory, needing only a few inches, they're going to line up to go for this thing on 4th down.
What do you think?
Here's Vaughn. They'll run for it. And he's going to have the first down yardage to the 35. They only needed a few inches, but still some anxious moments there, but they do convert on 4th. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. Staying on the ground with Vaughn. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 47 yards rushing now on 8 carries for him so far.
What's the old adage, partner? Don't judge the book by its cover, because this guy, he takes the mantra that he'll go down with a brisk gust of wind and sets it on its head. Great effort there to break a tackle and come up with a nice gain.
What do you think?
Vaughn on 1st and 10. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
That was a pretty good job defensively to hold them to a 2-yard run, but I've got to think this offensive line, they're asking their quarterback for a different type of a run, one that they rely on, one they have confidence in, one they feel like they can block.
Here we go. What do you think?
Throwing, Prescott. Pass complete to Jalen Tolbert. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals 35. They give him 17 yards that time as that'll move the chains. So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line. He fights forward for a modest 2-yard gain, 2nd down. He really hasn't been able to get on track running the football, averaging less than 4 yards a carry.
Yeah, I think that they're going to enjoy the film session because all the defenders are filling their proper gaps on just about every play. And you know what they always say for a defensive coach? When I click off this film, I better see 11 jerseys in the picture going after the ball carrier.
Looking to throw. Prescott. Now this one into the hands of Vaughn. And he'll go down at the 26 following a gain of 6. He's already proven to be a factor in the running game on this drive. Now he gets involved in the passing game.
I think what we're seeing here is the modern version of workhorse in the NFL, being able to run it and catch it with equal proficiency.
Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts. So as they talk it over, we step aside.
They tried their best to pick up that 3rd and 1, but their surge wasn't enough to counteract what came back at them from the defensive side, was it?
Offensive line, especially in the middle, looked like they were on skates a little bit when that one started.
So now we bring up 4th and inches. This will be a critical call.
The offense here not budging. They're going to fight for it on 4th and inches.
Yeah! What do you think?
Needing the tough yards, they run it with their fullback. Oh, and I think he went backward. He did. The fullback dive held up short. And this 11-play drive is going to lead to nothing on the scoreboard.
Shot!
From the shotgun, it's Burrow. Now a short one to Gesicki. Second quarter action with 1:59 remaining. This 2nd and 4.
Gun! Shot! Shot!
Now it's Burrow. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. And, Charles, you think about what this defense has had to prepare for. They're in for a battle. I mean, they're facing a team that is working on a 6-game winning streak.
And that can be intimidating when you think about it in those terms, but I think what they need...
Trying to get it to Chase, but it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Eric Kendricks. And they will take over at the 29-yard line. So this defense coming up with a takeaway, and maybe that's something that can bring a little life to that sideline.
Well, I don't want to say that they've been sleepwalking through this first half because that's simply not true, but you're right. We haven't seen a lot of fire from these guys, really, on either side of the ball. So maybe that's the catalyst that they needed to get them back into this game.
It's caught. Tolbert. And this will leave them a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down.
And his play caller does a nice job of giving him an easy throw to start this drive, and he takes advantage of it. The completion sets up a manageable 2nd down.
Here we go, 47. What do you think?
Out of the gun, it's a give to Vaughn. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup, and that's all they needed to move the sticks.
2nd and 1, and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the 1st down.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. Again, a run with Vaughn. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down. Now a timeout called for by the defense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held them to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
Here's a 2nd and 8.
Ready.
Now here's a little touch pass as they tap it quickly to their receiver. Now the Bengals going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime. Here comes 3rd down and 7.
Yeah! Here we go! What do you think?
Prescott to throw it. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Oh, that's going to hurt a bit because they needed to come through with a completion there. Now a drive that started with great field position is facing fourth down.
And this one is right through. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So, Charles, they get to them with their first turnover of the game and then make it hurt a little bit extra with a field goal.
And anytime you give the ball up, what's the first thing a coach tells his defense? Don't let them score off of this. You've got to put out the fire. In fact, in 2021, that's what one NFL coach termed his defense, the firemen. Go out there, guys, and don't let them put some points on the board.
And no run back here. That's going to be a touchback. And we'll bring it out to the 30-yard line. The Bengals drive about to get going. And just inside of a minute left, Charles. They got a pretty long field ahead of them. I'm curious to see how they play this. But you would think definitely enough time to at least try to get 3 out of this.
Yeah, you want to move with a nice sense of pace. You want to up the tempo a little bit, but you have to do it with some poise as well. You don't want to go so fast that you hurry yourself into mistakes. There's enough time to put points on the board if they do it right.
And even though they have the lead, you know that they would love to extend this lead before heading to the locker room. 2nd and 10.
11. Dot.
Out of the gun, it's Burrow. Looking deep here for Chase. Oh, that's into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Malik Hooker. And a big return will get him all the way down to the 35.
Certainly feels like the classic second guess, but let's be honest about it. They had a chance going into halftime with the lead. Why did they take a chance with a throw there? I don't understand that.
Well, that's what I'm wondering. And now this defense has to try to protect that lead going into the locker room.
Here we go.
Running behind center with Vaughn. And this defense not ready for that one as he'll take this down inside the 25. The Cowboys going to use their second timeout now as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play.
Yeah, here we go. Wait,
Here's Prescott. Able to hit his target, Lamb. It'll be a gain of just a yard, and that's going to bring up 2nd down.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran it a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
Yeah.
2nd and 9.
Here we go. Wait,
Prescott. Oh, and his early struggles continue. Here's another one intercepted. Daxton Hill picks it off. And the Bengals are going to have it here as they'll start at their own 7. They are in an interception mood on defense. Had 2 nice interceptions a week ago. Now 2 here in the first half.
Yeah, we call it ball hawking. And the only way to truly be good ball hawks is not guessing. It's not just simply anticipation. It's study and understanding what they like to do and beating them to the spot and creating big plays.
Well, they're watching the film, and it's working. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. And they'll begin inside their own 10, so field position certainly not in their favor here.
Dot.
Final play of the half for Burrow and company. Now a short one to Gesicki. And he's in for the touchdown on the final play of the first half. The prayer is answered.
How did they get that done?
And they extend their lead, a little added cushion into the lockers. What a way to finish.
Tremendous way. That's momentum that they carry in with them. Can they convert it and bring it back out to start the third quarter?
Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And that pushes the lead up to 11. That's it for the first half. 2 more quarters to go. We'll have plenty more to see after the break. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. Ready for the second half. 14-3 our score as we are back underway on EA Sports. Now Lewis selects to return it. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And they trail here to begin the second half. What's going to be a key for them to get back in the game?
I think they're right there, and I think this game is still up for the taking for them because we always talk about turnovers. They had 2 of them in the first half, and once you start talking about if you have 3, 4, or 5, you know it's beyond difficult to try and win a football game with that. Those have to be eliminated. If they take care of the ball, they've still got a shot.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Vaughn on the handoff. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. 77 yards rushing for him now to this point.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
Handoff coming left is Vaughn. And great blocking downfield as he's got this almost to the 35-yard line. It's a gain of 12, and the Cowboys pick up the first.
A big hole there. How about him handling the point of attack? Just positioning himself so that run could go right off of his backside and deep into the secondary.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Here's a handoff to Vaughn. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. Now the stop made by Cam Taylor-Britt.
If you're a coach, you'll absolutely take that run every time on 1st down because it really sets you up to go in a number of directions here on 2nd.
There we go.
Now Vaughn. Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a 3rd and about 2. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. Here's Prescott. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he will have a Cowboys first down as this defense unable to hold. It's a 7-yard gain there on 3rd and 2. I don't know what they talked about at halftime. Whatever it was, it worked. They look like a different team here in the third quarter.
Yeah, I doubt that there were very many trash cans that got kicked over that type of a speech. I think what they did was they analyzed what worked in the first half, what didn't, and figured out a better game plan.
And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
Well, they certainly aren't letting up today, partner, because they've forced big turnovers already. And it's been incredibly tough for them to get yards against, let alone put points up on the board.
Third quarter on a Monday night with a 2nd and 10 coming up. Prescott now. He finds his man complete. That's Ferguson. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Jake Ferguson, a 20-yard touchdown. And the Cowboys have cut it back within a score. So they get their tight end away from the line to the outside, and he works his way in for 6.
Tight ends are not just blockers anymore. I don't know how many more times we need examples, but here's a great one. Gets to the outside, they give him the ball pretty quickly, and they trust him to get those extra yards, and boy, did he come through, bullying his way into the end zone after the nice catch.
Now Mike McCarthy going to decide to go for 2 here. It's complete, and he is not going to be able to break free as they wrap him up right at the line of scrimmage, and the try for 2 is going to come up empty. So after the touchdown, Aubrey now to kick this one away. And not willing to risk a return. This ball's going to come out to the 30-yard line. The Bengals drive about to get going. But Charles, they still have the lead despite their defense giving up a touchdown on the previous possession. And even though they have that lead, it feels like a back-and-forth ball game where to try to get momentum back, maybe they need at least 3 here on this drive.
I think you're right about that, Brandon, because your game plan doesn't change. But I do believe your urgency does because of the last score that went against your team. So what you want to do now is have your own drive and try and make sure that that momentum stays in your camp.
Flushed out right. A throw on the run, but that's going to be incomplete.
That was well defended. They clamped down on every available receiver. Just got to give the win to the defense on that snap.
Now they'll bring 4 receivers into the fold here. It's 3rd and long. Now Burrow. Flush to his right. He's got his target. That's complete. And they finally bring him down, but he reaches the 16. A big play there for Cincinnati. 55 yards.
And this is one of the toughest parts about being a defensive back. When a play breaks down like this, you're taught to plaster to a receiver. Find the nearest one and adhere yourself to it. But you can only stay with the receiver so long if the play continues to develop. He knows where he's going. You do not.
Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Now, they did get a little gain on this play, but all in all, a nice job defensively against the touch pass. They were able to string it out towards the sideline and never let him get the corner and turn it upfield for a bigger chunk of yardage.
Here we go.
2nd and 6.
Here we go. Shot.
They'll give this up the middle to Brown. He'll get this down inside the 10 for a pickup of about 3. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin too.
11. Shot.
They'll run on 3rd down with Brown. And he's able to pick up the first before he's brought down inside the 5 at the 4.
11, Thomas. Shot.
Now it's Burrow. Man open left side is Brown. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Bengal TD. Chase Brown from 4 yards out. And the Bengals are able to extend their lead in the final seconds of this 3rd quarter. McPherson now for the extra point. And this one gives his guys a 12-point lead. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. Now Lewis selects to return it. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive.
Yeah!
Right now, Charles, it just feels like they're trying to keep pace. They did score the touchdown last time out, but they still trail by. And Prescott, his 3rd interception. It's a pick six for a Bengals TD. And, Charles, for this offense, those interception woes they kind of had in the first half have now followed them into the second half. And for this defense, they take advantage, turn that into a pick six.
And that defense is in a spot now where they're thinking about ways to close this game out. And as confidently as they've been playing, I expect them to do exactly that.
Extra point by McPherson, up and good. 1 quarter remains here as we wrap up the week on a Monday night. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Here's McPherson now to send it away. And no run back forthcoming, so this will come out to the 30. The Cowboys going to use their second timeout now. That's going to leave them with just 1 remaining here in this fourth quarter. So Prescott of the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 right at the 30.
What do you think?
After the pick six, they go right back to the air. Oh, he had a man running free, but he overshot him, and it's incomplete.
And there, even if you've got to take something off that throw so that he slows down to catch it, that's far more preferable than what happened there. A big miss on what should have been a touchdown.
Here's 2nd and 10.
Yeah, here we go. Wait, take. What do you think?
Now Prescott. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
That's coverage you'd expect to see in a tie game late. Not in a lopsided game like this. They are not letting up.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Escaping the pressure right. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. They exited the pocket trying to improvise. That was a tough throw, and unfortunately, it wound up in the wrong pair of hands.
And, Brandon, when you're on the run, sometimes your downfield vision can get skewed just a bit. Now, the beauty of extending a play is sometimes your receivers find their way open, but oftentimes you end up closing down part of the field and bringing those defenders to the ball. And that one was picked off.
And that is incomplete. Oh, he had it and dropped it. That is an unforced error there, and it takes away what could have been a touchdown.
And that's one of the few things that has not gone right for this offense so far. They've had their share of big plays. That was nearly another. But somehow, he just couldn't squeeze it.
And good space to operate there as he takes this down inside the 35-yard line. 10 yards there on a Bengal first. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
They are certainly not letting up on the pressure in this one, and oftentimes you hear this expression, all gas, no break from defenses. But in this case, it's the offense still throwing the football up big in the 4th quarter.
Here we go. 11 MT, 11 MT. Dot.
Here's Burrow. And that's going to be caught. T. Higgins. And he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown. T. Higgins. 34 yards. And the Bengals add on to their lead, and it's looking like that win streak is going to extend another week. Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And that will bump the lead up to 26. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. Kevontae Turpin now from his end zone. And he's going to be stopped cold. Good coverage there by the kick team to bring that return to an abrupt halt. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense.
Here we go.
Now they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. They'll need a big play here. Will Dak and the Cowboys after the sack. It's 3rd and long.
Kill. 47.
He'll look to throw. He'll fire deep downfield for Lamb. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
They geared up and took the deep shot downfield, but it turned out it wasn't one-on-one coverage. Extra defenders in the area, and that one winds up incomplete.
So now on comes the field goal unit. And this will be a, shall we say, a rather optimistic try here. And supreme confidence in the kicker turns to supreme failure, as that is obviously no good. And they will remain well behind. I got nothing after that try.
Yeah, don't even try.
I mean, he tried it from the parking lot. Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10.
Let's get set. Shot.
This is Brown going up the middle, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. When this offense gathers to watch the tape, they're going to like a lot of what they saw. They put up big numbers, but they might fast forward through that last play.
Oh, there won't be any fast forwarding, partner. I've sat in those sessions before. You end up spending more time on the bad plays than you do on the good ones. It's just the nature of coaches.
And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. When coaches come into a game preaching total team effort, CD, I think this is the type of ball game that they're dreaming of. It was pretty apparent early on that they were clicking in all 3 phases. It's been fun to watch.
Yeah, sometimes in the NFL you end up with matchups like we've been watching here. And when you go back through the early drives, you can just see that one squad was on a different level in this game. Safe to say, we have been disappointed in watching their execution throughout this contest.
This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And he won't quite make it to the 25. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive.
Here we go. Wait.
They start the drive with Vaughn. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Cowboys in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They're looking at 2nd down now as they search for a consolation score.
Yeah!
Now Prescott. This throw left side is caught by Tolbert. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 19 yards there on the catch and run. Now, 4th quarter, certainly not enough time for a comeback, but nice to see them making use of the time remaining to try and make this one a little more respectable.
Yeah, I think the ultimate goal, good execution, be crisp, be sharp, and find a way to...
And now here is another interception. It's DJ Turner who's got it. And a big return will get him all the way down to the 35. But with this advantage, this defense knew that passes were coming, and they stayed in position, Charles, and picked one off here in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, what a way to cap things off, huh? Because I think this is part of the game within the game. They see the scoreboard, they see what they can accomplish, and they went for it.
Here we go.
On 1st and 10, here's Brown. Down to about the 32.
I like it. I like the call. Still an opportunity to run the football and chew up a little more time off the clock.
Here we go.
Here's 2nd and 7.
11, Thomas. Shot.
They keep it on the ground. Again, it's Brown. A 1-yard gain there following the 3-yard pickup on first down. Charles, why didn't they just take the knee there?
You're asking the question that I'm asking as
Here we
well,
go.
because we've seen a lot of football where coaches decide maybe they get a little greedy.
11,
I don't know if they're doing it
Thomas.
for stats or for what reason.
Dot.
We've seen it happen in college, and how about in the NFL? The miracle at the Meadowlands. All they had to do was...
And now Burrow going to be intercepted yet again. Picked off by Malik Hooker. And the Cowboys come up with a late turnover, but it will probably only matter to the statisticians as this ball game is now officially over. And as this defense walks off the field, they can do so with their heads held high. What a performance. Well, by the offense, too. I mean, really, Charles, just complete domination on both sides of the football here in this one.
Certainly was, and I think both sides compete against each other all the time. You go at each other in practice, obviously your training camps, your off season, but on game day, you both want to show your best, and I think that's what we saw from both the offense and the defense, a complete team.